be myself today. Yeah, I'm not worried about opinion. This is how I get it. I'ma be myself today. I've been staying in my lane, trying to focus on the pain. I'ma be myself today.
Hello, Synsei Fam. It is Synsei Inc., and I am back here today with episode 8 of Anime Chat and Rap. I have some very, very special guests with me today. I had planned on having King of Lightning on today. Unfortunately, he's going through a power outage. It's been storming crazy on the East Coast, but he will be back and within the next couple of weeks for another episode. But nonetheless, I have some other amazing guests on today that I'm very excited to have. And I will give them all an opportunity to introduce themselves now.
Yo, what's up, Masked Man?
Yo, what's up? It's Zypher. I mostly do reaction type videos on seasonal anime that are coming out.
What's good, everybody? I'm the King here. I mostly do One Piece content.
Hey, my name's KneeCaps. I just make videos.
Yo, how's it going, guys? ZoroFanBoy here. I do One Piece content, mostly reactions and discussion videos, sometimes reviews and stuff. So yeah.
What's going on, everybody, man? King Recon here and Gintama Goat.
It is so. It is.
What's happening, guys? It's Ronoate. I'm kind of new to the YouTube scene. Just made a YouTube channel, but other than that, I just be on Twitter.
All right, cool. That was everyone, I'm assuming. Alrighty. So, first question. It's a question that I do every episode, kind of a warm-up thing. But what are you guys currently reading or watching, anime and manga related? And if it's something like obscure or something that not a lot of people may have heard of, if you could just give like a brief little, description of what it is, and so maybe they could check it out and see if it's good or not as well.
Dog, can I talk about something that I just recently finished?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Dude, I just finished an anime called Sangatsu no Lion. March comes in like a lion. Dude, there's certain like themes and topics covered in that series alongside with the execution of the character arcs and the way that it's so good, man. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but for anybody looking for a slice of life series or a series about perseverance, moving forward, that type of thing, man, it's fantastic. And it's by Shaft, so you can expect high quality animation and stuff like that. Soundtrack, absolutely incredible. But yeah, man, Sangatsu no Lion, dude. If any of y'all looking for an anime to watch, give that one a shot. It's great.
Give us a little. What is it about, man?
I can speak on it a little bit if you want, Rico.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
The series is you obviously have your central protagonist, and it's about like a boy who's like lonely in this world where he has no family or anything, and how he surrounds himself with people and slowly builds his relationships with people who are all going through their own things, and each character gets their own arc, whether someone's going through bullying, someone's going through depression, someone going through anxieties, whatever it may be. All those very, very like hard-hitting topics, and how they all overcome them together, how they build these relationships and like become better as people and grow from that. And the way it's depicted, like the way they animate it, is some of the best animation I've ever seen in the medium. Like
Agreed.
The way they depict all these emotions, it's like it's Shaft at their best. It's one of a kind.
Oh, it's Shaft? Okay. I'm sold.
Damn. That description alone almost made me cry.
Right,
Sounds good, man. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
He sold me on that.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah,
Had
I might
peek,
have
man.
to check
Had
it out.
that. Okay.
I might have to check it out. I have a pretty long list of what I'm currently reading because I just do manga reviews pretty much
Gotcha.
on my content. Because I started off just doing like Berserk and stuff. That was like my main focus. But after talking to some of the bigger YouTubers, they told me, yeah, expand. It's a good idea. And I started getting all these requests to read different stuff. Currently, I'm watching the Gintama anime, mostly to troll Nux. By the time I finish it, I did 2 videos on it, and he commented on the first one. He was upset. I told him in the vid we did that I didn't remember the name of it, but it seems really promising, and I have high expectations for it. I just got done reading Goodnight Pun Pun.
Good series.
It's okay. It's like you've heard, the movie The Book of Life. It's like this is the Book of Depression. Like it's bro. Like
that's actually a good description. Yeah,
so
that was a good analogy. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, it's one of the most beautiful stories ever. But if you can't stomach what happens in it, listen, bro. If you ain't of don't read it. Don't read it. This like I usually don't tell people don't read a good manga.
You're not lying, bro. Like I tried reading that. I tried reading
Bro.
that, and I got depressed, bro. I couldn't
Dude,
continue.
I made it like 20 something
So
chapters in, and
so trigger warning for the viewers: if you are going through any type of that stuff, you can't handle anything like that. Don't read this. Don't read it.
Well, it's one of
Straight
those
up.
things where I think you need to just have maturity for it, right? But I definitely get what you're saying, because I put the same disclaimer in my video, but I also think it's one of those things that if you have the maturity to stomach through all of it and you reach the end, you'll definitely leave a much more sympathetic understanding and like better person as a whole. Because I myself, I've never had, luckily, like thank God, I've never gone through something like a severe depression. Like I've always been someone who, like, if things go bad, I get angry. You know, that's like the only emotion I know how to like react with. But you know, people who have gone through such things like depressions and suicidal, oh my goodness.
Mike Tyson.
I had a lift. I'm gonna knock you out in 2 rounds. Like people who have suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, when you know, when they're able to persevere and push forward, man, mad respect and shouts out to anybody who's gone through that and has like pushed through it. But yeah, that's what I've been kind of reading and stuff.
Oh, I gotta check this out though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, man, cause I've read some depressing stuff, but like this sounds like something that's interesting. But so is this something like, so you said like once you reach the end, you're like, you have a more like sympathetic understanding of the overall manga. So like, would you say that it's like one of those mangas where it's tough to get through, but like once you like get through all of it, you kind of have like an overall appreciation of its entirety? Is that kind of what you mean by that?
The quality throughout the entire manga is apparent, but it's, how do I put this in best terms? Like, I consider certain mangas like rereadable. Attack on Titan, Berserk, Hunter x Hunter. Like, those are things that I call those wifey mangas. You know, those are things for life. Oyasumi Point Pun's a one and done. Like, you don't want to read it ever again once you finish with it. It was awesome. It was great. You don't want to touch it ever again. It's not like, it's not worth the hassle.
I agree with
Takes
that.
a toll on
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
It's
It
really
does.
good quality.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yo, I've been reading this series called Blue Lock. Now I don't know if anyone who knows what Blue Lock's all about, but it's a football manga, soccer for all people who don't know what I'm talking
wait
about.
a minute. Okay.
And yeah, man, George got me into it, and I didn't know how to feel about it at first. I'm not the biggest football fan, in the world, although my dad is, but I kind of gave it a chance, and goddamn, man, it's so hype. It's so good. It's like Kuroko if Kuroko actually was good throughout. All right.
Dang. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm
They
throwing
be
shots out
shooting
there.
full
Kuroko's
field
pretty good.
shots.
Like, what I mean by that is, well, to be fair, it's only been like 80 something chapters, like 90 chapters. So it's still early on in the story. So it's not finished by any means. But the characters are really awesome. You kind of grow to like each and every character. The concept is really dope. It's not a spoiler to say, but it's like the series focuses just on strikers, not any other part of the the team. The goalies are trying to find the greatest striker in all of Japan, basically, is the concept of the story. And it's such a dope story. There's so many great characters. The artwork is god tier, man. Unbelievable stuff. Blue Lock is a must read. Every chapter is hype. It's not, if you're looking for a deep kind of like story to make you contemplate the existence of reality, it's not going to really do that for you. But if you're looking for some hype sports series, man, I would absolutely recommend Blue Lock. It's absolutely incredible.
I'm a peep
I gotta throw it out there.
I'm a peep it, man. 'Cause I've been seeing like a ton of people tweet about it and stuff. But sometimes, man, I don't intentionally do this, but sometimes I wait until like hype dies down for stuff to read it. Cause like
I got you.
Kind of forget about it. Man.
Like,
and I kind of regret catching up to it because I'm on, it's 90 chapters or so, and now I'm caught up, and I gotta wait every week for
That's
it.
how you know it's good.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It's so good. It's so good. But on top of that, one other thing I've been watching, I got to give a shout out to Dritz, to JD Legend, for getting me into this. It's a ReZero. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Yes.
Yep.
It's back.
But yeah, we
It's
were doing
back.
like a Discord watch party for ReZero, and I've never seen it. Me and SK, this other guy, we were watching it for the first time. And man, that story can go screw itself, man. I love it.
It's crazy because I just started started reacting to ReZero on Twitch, and I watched the first 2 parts of episode 1 because Crunchyroll has the first episode.
1A, 1B.
broke down. But the first part, I was a little confused at first because I was like, did I miss something? But then like SK was in my chat. It was crazy. You brought up SK. He popped in the chat and we was talking while I was watching it, and he was like, "Nah, bro, it's vague for a reason. Like you're supposed to not know what's going on." Because I thought like maybe because I had been like when I started Twitch up, I usually tweet my links out, stuff like that. So I'm like, oh damn, did I miss something? And then he was like, nah, you didn't miss anything, bro. Like, because he walks out of the gas station that he was in, or the store he was in, and then he just goes into this other, place. So I was like thinking, like, did I miss something in between?
ReZero is one of those shows that they give you little hints here and there, and you got to kind of put it together.
That's what he was telling me.
Yeah,
he said,
you got to pay attention.
Once the more I watch, the more I'll understand everything. So.
Yeah,
but
man,
I watched the first 2 parts and it was
it's
dope.
so good.
I'm definitely going to keep reacting to it.
It only gets better, man. It really only gets better. The series goes
and that's
along.
also a good series to do reactions to. Definitely keep doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of people back in 2016 when that came, a lot of people's channels popped off because of ReZero.
It's just
I was gonna watch it.
Like legitimately, like no other series besides Berserk can mess me up like ReZero has. Bro, it's tough.
It got spoiled for me, bro.
Oh,
I'm heated about that still. It got flat out spoiled for me. I was just like, you know what? I don't.
Oh, ReZero got spoiled.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things spoiled for me, man. Like a lot.
Well, I'm trying to think what you could have been spoiled on, because I feel like what you think is a spoiler is not really a spoiler.
Is it? Does it have something to do with Subaru?
Yeah.
And I think it was it, but then someone explained it to me. But by them explaining it, they spoiled it. I don't want to get into it because
let's get into it. But
yeah, I was like, really, bro. Really?
That's tough.
He was like, no, like I got Attack on Titan spoiled for me hardcore, and I was heated. I was so heated.
Yeah, I got spoiled for AOT too, man. So I know how you feeling right now,
bro. If anyone's been spoiled, there's no more person than me. Like, if I could jump into what I recently finished is I'm gonna push the agenda quick, but I want to push the agenda of Gintama, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I finished that shit a month ago, and I can tell you it is easily the best shonen I've ever touched. The way this series brings everything together. You think that this series at the beginning is these are all just gags. These are all just jokes. Bro, they bring back every gag. Everything has a logic or meaning behind it, and the reason why it's put there. So like when the serious arcs hit in the second half, those gags have emotional weight to them, and you care about these characters 10 times more than any other shonen. And the plot twists that come around at the end, I'm not gonna go into detail into any of them, but like Gintoki is easily one of the best protagonists I've seen in shonen, not just shonen, just anime in general. The antagonist, I'm not even gonna name the guy, but one of the best antagonists I've seen in the series. The cast, even the way they handle their female characters is the best I've seen in shonen. A lot of female characters I feel like miss the mark in these shonen series, where they're just a side piece to the main character, but no, these female characters even stand on their own and are badass and do their own thing. Each handling of it, every aspect of Gintama is done so damn well. And I was just blown away as I kept going that the series just kept getting better and better and better. And there's so many points where the series could have ended and you're like, okay, this is a 10. But then it's no, there's 5 more portions where you're like, okay, this is a 10, it could end right here. No, this is a 10, it could end right here. And it just keeps on going. It's just incredible to me.
All facts. Gintama's fantastic. Underrated.
Yeah, it's something I need to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to. But it's just recently I've just been reading shorter manga and watching shorter anime so I can have time to do other stuff.
No doubt. Well, and Gintama's a bit of a slow burn. I love Gintama to death. For sure. It is a little bit it takes a little bit of time to really kind of.
No, it's one of those series that you watch before bed. One episode a night.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you want to binge. Especially at the start, you want to just take 1 or 2 episodes recon set, just a couple episodes a night, or even maybe a week. Just do it at your own pace, and then you will slowly find your own groove as you get into it. Something will click for you, and you'll just start binging.
Yeah, do the anime, not the manga, man. Because I usually go manga first.
I agree.
I try to binge through the manga. I want to blow my own head off. Because it's so much dialogue, and the comedy within Gintama is heavily. It relies so much on the voice acting.
On timing.
Timing. And you can't have good timing in manga when you read through it like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Katakuri's voice actor is Gintoki, and he's perfect.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
shit.
Perfect.
Dope.
There's no series that can go from like serious to funny to dramatic like Gintama. None.
Agreed.
Yeah, like within the same episode, you could be like laughing your ass off and
Right,
then bawling
yeah.
your eyes out.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I've heard
It's
that.
very similar to One Piece in that type of.
I've heard that sentence so many times from people about Gintama, but it's got to be true now. It's kind of, like I hear that a
I
lot.
might have to give it another go because I started the first few episodes, but it just wasn't feeling that at first.
It's
I always
hard
hear
to
it
run.
like
It takes
that.
time. It takes
I-
time to really get into it. Honestly.
Bro, I've been in the same shoes as you before, but the only reason it pushed me through is I had people like Recon and so many others like, bro, you gotta push. And I like, and the thing is like with Recon's opinions, like he's one of the few people I trust in the community. So when he recommends a series, I know it's about a bang.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I might give
I
it
appreciate you,
another
bro.
chance.
Damn, dog.
Wholesome moment.
This brotherly love, I like it. I like that.
Right.
Yo, Tay, what's up, bro? What you been watching or reading, bro? Tell him,
I
talk to
just
talk to
started
these dudes,
Berserk.
Tay. No, not
I
about,
just
I don't want to
started
hear
Berserk.
that. I don't want to hear that. Tell them what you watching. Tell them what you watching right now.
I just started watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Everybody
sir.
knows what
That
that
Togashi great.
is. Yeah. So the plan was to watch Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter back to back.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Sin
man.
like
You're in
Sin
for it.
recommended
I envy
Yu
you.
I
Yu,
wish
of
I could do
course.
that again.
Me too.
Are you reacting to them?
Oh no.
Oh, bro.
I was about to say, bro. I'd watch
You would.
everyone.
Killing me. I was about to say.
Love Togashi.
I joined.
I've actually never seen Yu Yu Hakusho, but I plan to this year.
Yo, watch that.
Same.
Oh,
You have to, man.
I
That's
rewatched it
you.
recently, man. It's so good.
Tay, I'm telling you, you in for some treats, bro. I didn't even know that you hadn't watched Hunter x Hunter, but now that you just told me that, we gonna have to talk after this podcast over, bro. Because I don't even know how to
Yeah.
feel about that right now. Like,
But yeah, and then the manga is I just started Berserk. So.
Oof.
Ooh, nice.
Berserk,
Oh, wait a
bro.
minute.
Berserk,
Wait a
bro.
minute.
We started
Wait
the
a
Holy
minute.
Trilogy. Man.
Yeah, we
For
talk
real.
about the
got
greatest
a lot
of
of
all time
convinced.
right there, man. Bro,
God damn.
I rep it till I die. Like honestly, my
Bro.
main motivation for getting into Gintama was because I did a post with Guts. I was like, best protagonist ever. I got all these comments saying Gintoki. I was like, who is
Yeah.
this Gintoki? Because for me, bro, that's how you motivate me to get into a series. All it takes is one person, even if they troll and it's like, yeah, it's as good as Berserk. I'm just like, now I gotta watch or read it. But yeah,
Yo, I
yeah,
feel that, dude. I really do, dog.
yeah, Berserk it's one of the greatest of all time. There
It
are
is.
very few things I'm willing to be like, okay, it's better than Berserk. You feel
It's
me?
number one,
But-
bro.
Yeah, I have like this reading list and like this class of stuff that I've heard that's like on Berserk level, so that
Mhm.
I'm gonna peep next. So like like within that class is like Vagabond,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Kingdom,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Like
Yo,
Yeah.
Tay, I'm telling you, bro, your whole life is about to change when you catch up.
Vagabond is so good. It's my
I'm
I
number
kinda
love
like-
Kingdom, man.
like I'm not new to like anime and manga, but like I might as well be because like I never really cared before recently, you know. So I've only seen basic stuff like Naruto, One Piece, and like DBZ
About to-
and stuff like that.
Whole new world,
so
my
like now, like I've actually made it like
Bro, you about to
like I
transcend,
actually,
bro.
yeah, like I've
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like I care now. Like since I'm starting YouTube, I need to like know more shit and like get into more shit and then expand and like try and experiment with stuff and see what clicks, you know. So I need to expand. So like actually like I'm starting to care and want to read more and stuff. It's not like I'm doing anything anyways. I just go to work. Like, I feel
I feel that,
I
I feel that.
have no
Facts,
reason,
though,
like
bro.
I have no reason not to. Like,
I felt that heavy. People
Yeah,
ask me that a
feels
lot. Like, how do you read all these series? I was like, I have
'Cause I
other
don't
than play
do
soccer.
anything.
Exactly. This is my job. This is like my job now. But
Listen,
I'm glad you brought up Kingdom though. It's mad underrated. I'm on Coalition arc right now.
Oh, nice.
me,
Nice.
yeah, that's what,
the
Bro.
Kingdom thing. What
One of
popped
the
that
greatest
out for
arcs
me
in,
is,
in manga, bro.
like,
I agree.
like
One of the greatest
seeing
manga. All of
Fiji
manga.
like react to it, like just seeing like his reactions like on the timeline and just talking to him because me and Fiji are pretty close. Like just seeing the reactions and how like everybody in like the Zoro killing Kaido like that group chat, since that's like a family, like everybody in that group chat just like starts talking about it. Like
shit.
like someone will say Kingdom and then out of nowhere like the chat maybe like, you know, when you're in a group chat and like maybe 3 people are talking and then like someone just starts talking about Kingdom, or like Fiji comes and talk about Kingdom out of
Everyone
nowhere,
talking.
like 10 like 15 people spawn,
Yeah,
and then
bro.
you're just like,
So
you know, the
always,
picture
it
of, like,
always happens, bro.
yeah, you know the picture of like Squidward looking out the window with
Yeah.
Patrick, like SpongeBob having fun. That's how I be feeling.
Yeah, that's how it is, bro. Group chats are hilarious, bro. It'd be like 4 people talking. You'll make an anime opinion, and then like next thing you know, whole chat's talking. Like that's how it always is, bro. It's like that in Discord servers too. Like,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. But D King, what's going on, bro? What you watching and reading currently, man?
Nothing special right now. I'm pretty busy, so I've been just keeping up with the Shonen Jump stuff, with One Piece, Black Clover, Haikyuu, which is ending soon, which I'm very sad about.
Man, I just got to season 2 of Haikyuu, bro. I've been
Oh,
enjoying
yeah.
that a lot.
Shit is very hype.
It only gets better.
For sure. KneeCaps, what up, bro? I ain't heard from you too much, man. What you watching and reading right now?
I don't know, bro. I haven't been watching or reading that much shit. Like, I've been watching One Piece recently, I guess. But I mean, I kind of stopped. But like I don't know, the last 2 manga I've read were like, what's that one thing called? Dr. Stone? And then Kakagurui, which is like that was like an old one. Like, not really old. It's like maybe like a year, 2 years old.
That's
or
a
something
gambling
like
The gambling show?
that. Yeah, the gambling. Yeah, the one about the gambling stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I also read some One Piece because, like, you know, sometimes the pacing just gets like really bad. So, you know, but
Yeah,
other than
let it
that,
sit sometimes.
nothing really, you know.
Got you, bro. How far are you on One Piece?
How far am I in One Piece? I think I got to the point where, you know, like those samurais. You know, I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody. You know, those samurais.
Yeah.
You know how, like, I don't really know how to explain it without saying too much, but
Spoiler alert.
it's a little far into the Wano arc. I can say that
Okay.
much.
Oh, you're pretty far then.
Yeah.
See, I didn't when
Yeah.
you said you were watching this, I thought maybe
Yeah,
you were
I
like,
thought-
Nah, bro. I've already
Yeah.
gone through that, you
I
know.
was thinking
When he
like,
said
okay,
Samurai,
he's
I
like,
thought he was like, is he talking about Ryuma? Like, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about
talking about Thriller Bark?
Oh, Thriller Bark.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
Thriller Bark and
Nah, 'cause I
shit.
know, like, some people just then started One Piece. You know, they're probably on like episode 22 or something like that. But I've been watching all that stuff.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I was wondering because I was like, damn, we've been talking a lot about One Piece. Probably spoiled this dude.
Nah, bro.
All right. So we talked a little bit about this already. Some of y'all talked about them, but I want to know like who y'all's favorite MC is. Who's your favorite MC?
His guts, bro. His guts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's no one even close.
So I think Recon's gonna be the only one that knows the greatness of this character in this call, but mine is Araragi Koyami, man.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, from Guthrie.
Monogatari's
Yeah.
good.
Greatness.
What show was he from?
Monogatari. It's a very arc heavy series. It's another series that's very, very deep in its symbolism and its like themes.
Yeah.
It's almost similar in Sangatsu, but it does it in a different way. It does it in a more dialogue heavy, more
He Togashi-fies it.
yeah. It's like if Hunter x Hunter met Sangatsu is essentially what it is.
Yeah, the dialogue is on next level.
Like, it's like supernatural elements are coming in, and like each character has like a monster that represents them. Like it could be a vampire, it could be
it's
a monkey.
weird, but it's great.
Each of those animals like represents like the mental battles that they're going through. Like
Yeah.
and like their struggles and it's almost like there's a joke in the community called this is like Monogatari is the real demon slayer because they're like fighting their demons. So because they're actually like fighting like their inner demons, right? Like the one person's going through love issues, someone's going through suicidal thoughts, someone's going through depression, someone's going like everyone has their own issues, and they overcome them in these supernatural ways. And there's like a whole overarching story happening for the main character, but I'm not going to go deep into it. But how he changes and grows as a character, I've never seen anything like it in terms of an MC. He's like, and like for the first time, and you know how you always hear, for someone there's a series that like inspired them enough to change how they acted, how they want to grow, what they want to do, what they want to pursue. One Piece was the first series for me to find my passion, which was YouTube. One Piece made me want to talk about anime and manga. But Araragi Koyami was the first MC that made me want to change who I am as a person and be for the better, like care for people more, go outside more, like interact with people more. Like he inspired so much of who I am today as a person from a year ago, and that's why he's like my favorite character.
Dope.
Love it, man. You spitting facts, dude. 100%. Araragi greatness.
I don't know who this character is, but you talked about him with so much passion. I believe it. All right, man. Which so we got your guy. We got Guts, ZoroFanBoy, and Masked Man. Said Guts, right?
Yeah, Guts, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
Guts.
God, bro. Like, it's talking about inspiration, man. Like, with Guts, I just seeing what he's gone through his entire life and still being able to persevere.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm feeling down, I just think, man, Guts got it worse, and I feel better about myself. You know?
100%.
I mean, you're kind of spitting right now.
100.
You know what I'm saying? I know
He do be having it worse.
Yo, that might sound lame, but that's 100% true. Like,
Yeah, that's fact.
True.
And it's not like, he's just a simple character. Like when people think of Berserk, they just see him with a big sword. They see images of him. They just assume, oh, it's a power fantasy about
hacky slash man.
Exactly. But there's just so much more depth under the veneer of his like macho exterior, right? That's just a complete facade that he puts on to kind of make himself feel a little bit more stable. But when it comes down to it, he's just the most messed up person that someone can be. But he's doing the best that he can, man. And I respect perseverance as a quality in a human being probably more than anything. So with Guts, man, he's the embodiment of perseverance, the embodiment of not letting yourself be defeated by your circumstances, and I really respect that. I really do.
That's facts. That's facts. The man's just like flat out badass too throughout the entire series.
Oh yeah,
and he brought up all these great points about him, man. And he's someone who has it rough in life, and when he finally learns to kind of grow and love his companions, he goes through a moment where now he regresses and he has to gain back everything he lost, whilst also fighting his own inner darkness. So it's like this. Nah, that man's a stud.
Right.
Like
it's hard to write
crazy.
like an edgelordy type character well, right?
Right.
Guts is not an edgelord at all, but he has those qualities. So it's just perfect that the way that they were able to write him with the balance of like having that hard exterior, but also having like an empathetic, deep character written underneath. It's perfect, man.
Right. Definitely. Starts off as like a crazy killing machine, and he slowly grows up into like this wise warrior who's just pushed to act violently. But now I think he's at the point that if he could just chill, he finally would want to, but of course life don't let him.
Right, exactly. It's just the way it is.
So Tay, who's your favorite MC right now? I know you said you haven't watched too much.
I don't really got many choices, but for now it's Luffy. But like, I already know it's gonna be Guts. Like, there's just those things that like, there's just those things like when people talk about it, like you get this perception of something, you know that it's gonna live up to your expectation. Like I know Berserk is gonna be that series, cause like with Luffy, it's not like Luffy's not even in my top 5 characters within the series. So
you just bought those deluxe editions though, right? So you gonna be reading this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna read the physical, like, and then I catch
it hits
up
different,
to that.
Bro. It hits different when you read the physical, bro.
Where it's at, man.
That's dope. KneeCaps, what you got, bro? Who's your favorite MC, bro?
Say Deku.
My favorite MC? It can either be Yo Asakura from Shaman King, or it might be,
nice.
Shaman King.
That's Shaman King. Okay.
Coming back.
What's
How do you feel about that returning?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, I'm hella stoked for
Full
it. Bro.
reboot.
But I don't know the what's it called, the teaser for it, I think it's called. I'm not sure if it's called something else, but the teaser for it looked kind of strange. Maybe it's just like maybe what's it called? They just put some out just to put something out, but the animation for it just looked a little strange, or maybe that's just the way that the opening is gonna be. You know how like some anime have like these weird abstract openings and stuff like that. But I don't know.
The preview just looked like it was like a manga style, like, so I don't really think we saw animation.
That's what I'm saying. Like what I'm trying to say is that the way that they showed it just seemed like what's it called?
It's a teaser.
I don't know. I think it might be. What I think is that it's the opening for it. I think it's the opening for it, like the little abstract shit that the stuff that they had.
No, I think it's just a teaser that they put together just to like let people, just to announce it, to put it out.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But
We'll get a proper animation trailer probably later this year.
Yeah, so yeah, it's either him or it could be Lag Seeing from what's it called? Tagami Bachi or Letter B, I think it's called. You know, those are my two favorites, but
Dope. That Shaman King pick, bro. You hit me out of left field with that. I like that, bro.
yeah.
I like that.
He's
King,
great.
D King, what up, bro? Who your favorite MC, bro?
I might go with Kaiji from the gambling anime.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Nice.
one threw me for a loop for sure. The psychological and mental breakdowns that he has, and like how he develops through the story, and also how he deals with his struggles and like still kind of struggling with his gambling addiction, but at the same time trying to be better. And it's just a crazy ass anime.
So
I
is it
definitely
like
recommend.
a slice of life, like gambling addiction type?
Oh
anime?
no, it's like
No.
some like deep shit where he's
Yeah.
like trying to save money. And it's like a tournament of like all these like gambling addicts and stuff.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
these-
and like the mental battles that they go through is crazy, man.
Is it like all like
Crazy.
casino based stuff, or is there like where does the gambling? What's the extent of the gambling go to?
I mean, it starts off like very like card game-ish, but then it just goes to another level where
Oh,
like
wow, okay.
people be risking their lives and stuff. So
Oh, okay. I got.
it's still all like mental battles though. It's not like anybody's like duking it out or anything.
Yo, DM me the name of that, bro. I'm gonna peep that. That sounds
Where
interesting.
I got you.
All right, for sure. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, y'all got some diverse picks here. You know, like usually when I ask questions like this, everybody in the call usually has a consensus on one or two characters, but we got some different picks here, man. So I like that. So this next question I have is kind of got brought up because of a tweet that I was involved in, and I thought it would be funny and kind of cool to ask because. Well, first off, I'm assuming everyone here have you guys seen or read like the all of the big three? We all know what the big three is.
Yeah.
Not Bleach.
Bleach,
caught up-
right?
Not read Bleach.
Not
I haven't
Bleach.
read Bleach
I've been
either.
caught up with the anime, but I'm gonna continue with this new season coming back next year.
So everyone here has seen everything but Bleach, or like who
Yeah.
hasn't seen Bleach?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've seen everything.
Seen everything?
I've seen it all. I was gonna get
like
into
that answer.
Bleach, but I heard it was like really disappointing. So
Yeah, I heard the
and it's
ending was-
long, so I decided to get some more critically acclaimed stuff out of the way before I like get into Bleach.
Okay.
I'd say to give it a shot one day though, man. I think it's one of those series that it's worth a watch. It's very very enjoyable. It might be my nostalgia because that was my first, that was my baby.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, but man, I have a lot of strong memories of that show, and I feel like as a person who loves delinquents, if you like delinquent protagonists, he's kind of like a different take on that. And he doesn't really have, in terms of Ichigo, he doesn't really have that that desire, that ambition you'll see from other protagonists within Jump. But I think that's what makes him special. So one day,
love
if you want to
Ichigo.
give it a shot, it has a pretty diverse cast. The art's great. The music's fantastic. If you want to watch the anime,
The Espada
that's
themes
good
I've
stuff.
heard, bro. That's my main motivation, cause I see the Espada and I look at Aizen and I don't care what anybody says. He's Puerto Rican. Shouts out to everybody who Puerto
Oh
Rican
no, yeah,
watching this.
100%.
But yeah,
Nah, bro. I
Bleach don't
definitely
have it.
definitely peep it though. I love Ichigo. I think he's a great MC. I love Bleach in general. It's one of those things, man, where it's like I feel like a lot of times people like create this like narrative about a certain anime or something, and then like they start talking about it on social media, and then over time people just kind of go with it without giving it a chance, and then it becomes this
Right,
thing where
right.
like Bleach is like there's like this Bleach is trash or Bleach is mid narrative that's being pushed, but it's really not bad. Like I really enjoy Bleach. Like, and then I just read the last arc, and like my thing is with the last arc is like, okay, some people have a different perception of it because they were reading it week to week, and I binged it, so it's different, of course, for me. But like some people have this like problem with the ending, which I kind of can see because it seemed a little forced, but the arc in its entirety was not as bad as like what certain people were telling me. Like certain people
Did
were
you
telling
say you come out of
had a
it
rushed
satisfied?
ending.
Satisfied. I can't say I was satisfied, but I don't think the arc is bad. Like
The beginning was hype as hell in the community. Everyone was hyping
Oh
up.
man, yeah,
to
that
no
was a
end.
crazy time.
Especially with some of like Apache stuff. Oh my god, that was so.
You know what's
dope.
interesting is a lot of people. I haven't read it, but from what I've heard, talking to a lot of people about it, is like it feels rushed towards the end, which Which, if you didn't know, this is something I actually found out from Sorachi, the author of Gintama, is there's a condition put on you is when you think you're about to end your series, you have to announce it 6 months ahead of time. And no matter what, once you've announced your 6 months, there's no like, oh, I need more time. And that's why he was forced to go to Jump Giga if he wanted to continue, is that no matter what, after your 6 months are up, you're done. You're out of Jump.
Yeah.
So when these authors get closer to the ending, they realize, oh, wait, maybe I needed a few more chapters, or I needed to do a little bit more. And that's why so many endings in Jump feel rushed. Like Naruto. I mean, I don't know if Naruto had that, but
Why not? Yeah, Naruto's was. It was. I don't know how to explain it with Naruto's, and I think this might lead into maybe the original question. I don't know if it was gonna be what do we think is the best out of the big three, but like with Naruto, whenever I see the comparisons drawn with One Piece and Naruto, as a huge Naruto fan, as well, the masked man should make it apparent. Naruto gets so screwed over by hindsight, it's not funny. You know, because usually when you compare a series that hasn't ended versus a series that has ended, usually the series that has ended, unless it's way better in quality, usually is like already screwed over. So like with Naruto, its final arc, I think it had a lot of awesome moments, a lot of hype moments. Obviously, as like an Obito fan, Madara did his thing. Naruto versus Sasuke in the final fight was sick. But a lot of the themes that made Naruto special in the first part, I think most people would agree was like extremely violated.
Yeah.
Or at least it was diminished with some of the plot holes that were introduced. Naruto being the reincarnation of Ashura and then Hashirama. And people will say like, oh, that's not a big deal. He still had to work for it. But then you find out he was destined to achieve this anyways, which is the same reason he whooped Neji. So it's just kind of like, it's like genetics in the end did turn out to be the thing that gives you the boost in Naruto, despite that being the entire, like the opposite. So yeah, Naruto's ending, I don't know anything about Bleach's ending. I know One Piece hasn't ended that, but yeah.
The point I was trying to get at is I think the author Kubo is gonna have like some input on the anime, so the anime ending could be a little bit different.
Sure. He's already came out and acknowledged that the ending of the manga wasn't what he planned and what he did. Like it's not what he wanted. So like him being a little bit rushed and ending it, like I also kind of gave it a little bit more leniency as well when I was like kind of reviewing it. Which I didn't review it, but when I say review, I mean like after like reading something, I usually like go over it again and like just trying to make a consensus of what I felt about it, and so I kind of gave it a little bit more leadway, just knowing the circumstances, because the besides like the rushed ending, like I really enjoyed the rest of it. So like a lot of people were telling me that it was trash and it wasn't worth reading, and I just disagree. And I find that happens a lot in the community when people say stuff about certain arcs and stuff like that.
The thing with Bleach though, with Kubo in particular, like you can see it if you started reading it early on, you can actually see the transition and change in how much he actually cared about his own story, especially when it came to the artwork. The character art is always good throughout this series, but like he got lazier and lazier with like backgrounds and all these different things as the series started to progress, and he just kind of went through the motions. And outside of like the beginning and middle of the last arc, I felt like after the Espada, right after that arc, it just kind of was pretty average, to me at least. Fullbring was just absolutely terrible, but besides Fullbring, there wasn't really a terrible arc. It's just that what you would expect from Bleach up until that point was a lot higher than what we were actually delivered, and we didn't get any development from any of the main four, which is that they were pretty much like useless by the end of the story, which is the big comparison I use when comparing One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Is Bleach with Ichigo, in my opinion, with Rukia, with freaking Chad, and I can't think of
Chad.
They just completely dropped the ball on the main cast, and Uryu. They completely just ignored them towards the end, and just they weren't relevant. They just weren't relevant characters. And when you have a main cast that is irrelevant, it just feels like you just lose interest in what's happening. The only thing that kept me going was the squad captains.
I'm not gonna lie, like how I kind of looked at the last arc and why I enjoyed it was because like it just answered a bunch of questions that I had while I was watching the anime. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I loved Ichigo, but like as ZoroFanBoy is saying, I wasn't really much interested in the main cast as much, and that could be perceived by some people that are watching it as a bad thing, because like, you know, if you get invested in certain characters and then, like you said, they don't really follow up on them, it's kind of, you kind
the
of
main characters.
Yeah, you kind of get like disinterested, and so I definitely feel that. But like when I was watching the actual anime, and I speak going back and speaking on the art, I don't have anything to compare the art to, because I only read the manga for the last arc. I watched the anime for everything else, so I really didn't notice the art differences just because I hadn't seen them previous, if that makes sense. But as far as the anime, when I was watching, I was always interested in Ichigo, of course, but I was always very interested in the squad captains, like a lot throughout, and like especially in the arc before the Fullbring arc, when you have Aizen, when he's just bodying everybody, and I always was wondering, like, okay, well, like, this is happening, what are these other guys' Bankais, like, why aren't they using them? Like, that was always what I was wondering. And then, like, so we got all these like hype moments, and I feel like that's what like kept me interested, was all the hype moments, all the Bankais happening, all the like. And then we get the Squad Zero stuff, which is like came out of like left field for me. And then like some of them I wasn't super impressed with, but I really was impressed with Ichibe. Like I think Ichibe got hoed, but because he's awesome. I love this Bankai, and like everything about him was cool. His character tropes and stuff. He was like kind of happy-go-lucky, kind of goofy guy, but when he had to turn up, he did. I like characters like that. And then of course you get the, you know, Aizen coming back, which was like, you know, it's Aizen, so everyone's gonna be excited about him,
no doubt.
But other than like but I do now that I wasn't thinking about it as much, but now that ZoroFanBoy brought it up, the main cast, the character moments were kind of lacking. So yeah, I do think that's a negative. But I enjoyed it for the most part. I'm not saying that it's like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's not bad,
but it's
like,
not as bad as what people say.
It's good. Yeah, like for that arc,
you know, the other things.
For that arc, I think that I like to compare by highs and lows. I think that arc has the highest highs, but it also has the lowest lows in the series. Yeah. So it's really tough. But in terms of Ichigo, I agree with your sentiments on the other ones, but I think Ichigo had some of his best character moments in that arc. Like coming to truly understand who he is. Not only that, having his I don't want to go into many spoilers for anybody else, but that whole concept of him and like his freedom of spirit, by the end of that arc, I felt like this is the Ichigo that should have been. Like whenever I first started Bleach, by the end I was like, okay, this is the Ichigo that I expected to be at the end of the journey.
I agree with that.
You know,
that's my main problem with Ichigo, is that, you know, kind of like how I was talking about Guts, right? Guts, he has that tough exterior, but underneath there's a lot of depth there. With Ichigo, it just felt like he was going through the motions. He was just there. As a main character, he had a really cool beginning. He had like that, like you said, like that tough street kid mentality, and he kind of lost that, and he just became boring after a while. And he didn't really have that dynamic of him being the punk. I thought like when he started off, he was going to be a Yusuke type, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought too at first. I'm not gonna lie.
Four middle fingers at people kind of thing, but he lost that over time, and that kind of made me not really interested in what he was bringing to the table after a while.
Yeah. But that inner struggle that he has throughout the majority of the series is what really kept me invested in his character, because it's pretty relatable. You know, you're dealing with your own inner demons and whatnot, and he has to overcome like one of his inner demons in order to take out a person that he's facing, and it's a different one every time. And Kubo always made it interesting. That type of stuff.
No doubt of that. I just want to say that Soul Society is one of the greatest arcs, though. Like the beginning of Bleach is amazing. Like it starts off so good, obviously, and then it leads up to Soul Society, and it's incredible the way that the series starts. So it deserves respect, you know, definitely does,
no doubt.
For sure.
But it ain't One Piece though.
Well,
oh no, for sure.
Yeah, of course. I didn't have like a very specific question about the big three. I kind of just wanted to talk about them briefly because of the tweet that I saw, and I didn't really explain the tweet, but the tweet was someone was saying that out of all the big three, that One Piece has the best everything. and I
Cap.
No.
and
everything.
I would
No.
disagree.
so
No,
so of
I'd
course
say heavy.
of course I told them they were capping, and then it got into like this whole like debate and stuff. But like I wanted to talk about it because I was like, okay, I feel like when you're interacting with tweets, it's like sometimes you don't get to get all of your thoughts out because it's like you get
Right.
to this point where you're like, okay,
Text,
I'm not
yeah.
about to keep arguing with this someone under a tweet. So it kind of like I just told them they were capping and then just, you know, interacted maybe 1 or 2 more times and just kept going because like it's also hard. It's also like it's not beneficial to talk to someone about something that there's like when there's a specific bias in place, like when you can tell if they're biased about what they're speaking about, there's really no point in having the conversation because it won't lead anywhere most times. So like sometimes on tweets when I can see that there's like a bias there, like I'm just like, okay, I don't really want to have this conversation. So I said, okay, cool, I'll bring it to the platform today and we can talk about it a little bit. I as everyone in here was saying no, so I'm assuming you all agree with me that I think that he was capping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One Piece overall, One Piece out of the big 3, One Piece is my favorite, of course. But
Same.
to say that it has the best in everything is a big reach.
I mean, yeah, One Piece doesn't have the best fights. Let's be real.
That's
I
what I was
think
gonna get at,
Naruto.
yeah.
I think
Naruto,
Naruto, and that's what I brought up.
Naruto.
I think Naruto, as far as choreography goes, I
Oh,
think
for sure.
Naruto has like one of, if not the best fights in Shonen. Like you can
I think-
debate it.
I think other than that, I would say Naruto's. I don't want to disrespect One Piece by saying this because I love Dofi. But if I had to pick between Dofi and Pain, I'm gonna take Pain as like antagonist. So I think Naruto might have a stronger case when it comes to some of its antagonists, like
Yeah.
the peak of the antagonists, like with Pain and Madara. Overall, I think One Piece probably has a much stronger cast of antagonists. However, but like One Piece isn't better than the big 3 at everything. I'd say Bleach beats it in art style, or just the quality of the art and stuff like that as a manga. Like it's weird because Naruto is my favorite, right? But Naruto doesn't crack my top 20. One Piece cracks my top 10. But I like Naruto a lot more than One Piece.
Yeah,
So that's always like a funny discussion when One Piece and Naruto get brought up like that.
Well, I feel like it's okay to have like, cause I do that too. Like I have a favorite anime, which is Yu Yu Hakusho, but I won't say that it's the best anime of all time. I know it's not, but it's my favorite. So I think it's
Preference
okay.
and quality.
It's okay to have a preference, but still know like objectively some things are just have better qualities in certain areas. Like it is what it is. It happens.
Right.
I got a question for you guys. When it comes to fights, what would you say out of the big 3, like not choreography, but emotional weight in the
Emotional, I think One Piece has it.
Yeah, for me it's One Piece.
One Piece. Yeah.
Oh, that one
Yeah,
for
for
me for me might be. Oh, that's tough. Because I read One Piece through the manga, and watching.
Oh, it's
like,
not gonna hit the same.
No, yeah, the Naruto anime just killed it for me with the emotion behind some of the fights.
Bro, all I gotta say is when it comes to like Luffy versus Rob Lucci, the voice acting and the
Right.
music playing, and
For
then when Usopp tells Luffy to get up, and he says, "Of course I will!" Like when he screams that shit.
Right, right.
Dude,
There's no more emotional fight in the big 3 than Luffy versus Usopp.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Oh, that was in Water
Yeah.
7, right?
Luffy
Or
versus
we're talking about
Usopp
the-
had me really crying, bro.
Me too.
That was
Like,
tough.
yeah.
That was
Real
tough.
tears. Like
Right.
I'm crying. I'm like, yo, I'm crying at an anime and shit. What is going on?
I'm not gonna lie, when I look at it, I think part of it might be that One Piece in the middle of the fights, because I remember the Usopp thing, right? And that had me kind of like shook. But I think maybe Naruto has the emotional stuff, but in the backstories. So like for instance, Naruto versus Gaara as a fight itself, I don't think is more emotional than Gaara's actual backstory. You feel me?
I got
So
you.
I'd definitely be willing to give it a One Piece there as well.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, I gotta give it to One Piece as well.
I cried with Sasuke versus Itachi when we learned about Itachi and everything. That was
The
Oh,
truth.
100, dude.
Oh,
was really-
bro, that was
Who's got the
crazy.
best power system out of the big 3?
Ooh,
For me, that also goes to One Piece. I'm fascinated by the hockey versus double fruits. Like that entire concept to me is so fascinating, and you can take it in so many different ways. That I think that's my favorite. out of the 3. But I'm a huge fan of Zanpakuto toes though, so it's hard. I love me some Zanpakuto toes.
I'm not gonna lie, Hunter x Hunter is so good. I almost said Hunter x Hunter. Even
Yeah, I
though
did.
it's not-
I think if we could-
Yeah,
Oh no,
it's really
like if we're bringing Hunter x Hunter.
if you bring Hunter x Hunter into the conversation, it has the best power system.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to
Yeah,
throw that out
for sure.
there though.
Oh, I agree.
And then it's damn near
I-
perfect. Like,
Bro, if we're gonna bring another series real quick, if we're gonna talk about power system, I think if we're talking about emotional weight of a fight, I want to throw in Gintama has that unlocked.
Yeah.
Emotional
Yeah.
fights.
Next
Oh,
Taku's
and
gonna
Kingdom.
love this video.
all right, so cool.
Yeah.
So I went through power system. I was gonna ask world building, but like, is that even a debate?
One
I
Piece.
don't know.
That's not
Easy.
Listen, man.
There's
Look,
no contest there.
even as a
Yeah.
Berserk fan, and I'll rep Berserk. I have Berserk over One Piece over like the overall accumulation of things. But I remember someone was going back and forth in it in like the comments, and someone, a Berserk fan, and forgive me, I will personally apologize for this person. I was like, bro, One Piece's world building ain't even that top tier. I was like, listen, bro, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Yeah, you
Out
got
of all arguments, out of all
There's a line.
arguments,
Hey, calm
you-
down there, buddy. Yeah.
I'd have
It's
been like,
like,
I'd
yeah.
have asked him for his number so I could call him and talk to him about it. Like, we gotta talk real quick, bro. So who do y'all think? So who do y'all think has the best overall plot?
Ooh, that's tough to say because
Naruto.
Naruto's ended, Bleach's ended, right?
Yeah, we don't know where One Piece is still going.
Yeah,
Like,
and
There's a
yeah.
lot of
What-
stuff still hidden in mystery, like a lot of like
exactly.
even potential antagonists that are hidden behind some. I don't want to name anyone, but there's some potential like could be top tier antagonists in the series that still haven't been revealed.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't think Oda's gonna shit the bed, but he still could end up doing it. But like the way
Right.
like theorizing
Man,
it,
come
you
on,
would
bro.
say
I
One
don't even
Piece,
want to.
but-
I don't even want to talk about him. The possibility of him doing it, bro. Can we just pretend?
Yeah,
That, yo, that reminds
just-
me of a.
You know,
of a-
I don't want to like get on Masked Man's bad side or whatever, but like
right.
if you're talking about Naruto, like the Obito Toby plot like reveal was like lame as hell.
All
Let's
right,
be-
yeah. Look, I'm gonna be fair. Obito, that's why I'm the masked man. Obito, before he took the mask off, was top tier. After
what?
he took the mask off, I wish he never
Bro,
did. The only good part
Rin-
was that.
Obito with the
Story, bro,
mask
I
on is
can do
top
that.
3 characters in that series.
The thing is though, is like I relate to what happened kind of with Obito and stuff, and I like when he snapped against the bloody mist. That's my
Damn,
favorite
the
scene
girl
in
you
all of
love died?
Naruto.
I get that. I get
Oh
that.
yeah, that's a
Sword,
great scene.
it was.
Oh.
mm,
My point is
I
though,
don't wanna talk
like,
about
the
it.
reveal, the twists in Naruto don't hit quite as much as like some of the One Piece ones. Outside of like the
that's true.
Itachi thing,
right.
I agree.
like when Ace was revealed to, I don't want to spoil, but to be Goldie Roger's son, bro. That was incredible. There's
Right.
no big free moment like that in terms of twists and plot developments.
Mhm.
That's crazy,
Whoa,
bro. And there's
whoa, wait.
another thing I could talk about
Ace is
too.
Roger's son.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, like even stuff like the Reverie, right? Like in all the post chapters, man, those
True.
those
What happened?
twists and turns, they always get
Oh
to me,
man,
man.
that was like probably one of my favorite times in the community. The Reverie.
Referee's
Yeah.
incredible.
Everybody.
I still think about those chapters.
Bro,
I'm so
everybody's,
think about
sad, bro.
everybody's ankles were
So
breaking
much.
every
I'm
week.
so
And like
sad.
every time there's a chapter that's outside of the Straw Hats that focuses on the world and what I'm saying, like the development of
Yeah.
plot in the world and how things are going, it's always 10 out of 10, bro.
Do
Whereas
you know
like-
what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the political mini arcs in Kingdom. Like there's
Yeah.
like the move the
Yeah.
major plot in the wars, but then when it gets to the political shit, it's like ankle breaking.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
I'm at the point with One Piece where like when it's about the Straw Hats, like I really don't care. Like I just want more stuff of like going outside of Wano.
Yeah.
Like in the Wano chapters where they take the little breaks, I enjoyed those more than like the Wano chapters.
in between Act
Like
3 and
this
Act 4 is gonna be
entire
wild.
like post time skip for the most part outside of the Reverie, it's just been the Luffy train and all that. Like it's like I've just had enough of it.
I'll disagree with on that because I think if like the reason why I feel like Wano has me so disconnected is like it's so not about the Straw Hats. They're so far removed from like being intertwined in Wano. Like how Sanji was intertwined with Whole Cake. I wish like Zoro was intertwined with Wano.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like everyone had that expectation and it's just not happening.
I
Yeah.
I have the
It's,
expectation.
it's delivering on my end. I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving this arc a lot. For Wano.
I still dig Wano, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Wano. I'm just talking about like
Yeah.
the Zoro stuff is not what like a
Yeah.
lot of people expected. it to
Yeah, I
be.
think that's
Uh,
more
the expectation
though.
that like
Yeah.
Zoro will
Yeah.
get intertwined, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be late, like on, and that's gonna be the flaw with it. Like he should have been intertwined in the beginning.
I
Like,
agree.
when we-
But he was.
He's been showcased more
I
for
don't know.
sure. It's
Yeah, I
just
don't know.
still less.
Maybe
Nah,
maybe
bro,
expected.
maybe it's
when
just an expectation thing.
When you
That's the
take
problem.
Yeah,
when you
it's
take
just
Sanji for
expectation,
example,
bro.
it was already in Zoe that it was happening. Actually, even
Yeah.
Dressrosa it was happening. Like you saw little seeds of like with Sanji being taken over as captain for like half of the crew, then being pushed to go to Zoe, and then from Zoe he got pushed to go to Whole Cake. None of that. I mean, I feel like Zoro was like just completely on Wano if anything's happening at all.
Well, I
But,
mean,
like,
Oda's
to be
so
fair,
good at like,
yeah.
Oda's so
To be
good
fair.
at just planting the seeds early on with certain
Yeah.
stuff, bro. Because like
Exactly.
we even got like the Mr. Prince stuff in Alabasta. Like it's
Yeah,
just so
exactly.
funny
That's
how
been
like
set up for a while.
it's just
My-
so funny, man.
The only thing I could think back to is maybe Thriller Bark with Ryuma,
Yeah.
but
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, like Whole Cake, the whole point of Whole Cake was to bring back Sanji, right? That was
Exactly.
the focus of the
Yeah.
arc. The focus of this arc has always been to take down Kaido.
He's on
So,
Kaido. Yeah.
no,
Two
to
different
expect
focuses.
it to be
for sure,
solely
yeah.
Zoro. Even me, as someone who's a huge fan of him, obviously, had tempered my expectations to a certain extent. But even then, I feel like we could have gotten a little more. I liked
Okay.
the whole killer fight. That was cool, even though it wasn't
See,
really.
even
Like,
okay. So here's the
The
thing.
anime's about to go balls deep on that.
I know I'm
Even-
making
Oh,
hype
that's
right
gonna
yeah.
be fire, bro.
Here's the thing. Even if like we don't get Zoro and Wano stuff like, can we all agree that Zoro 100% needs more characterization like in the series? Like, I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
Post
he's
time
the,
skip.
he's
Post
the
time
most
skip.
he's the most lacking out of all the Straw Hats in my opinion. In terms of
I
like,
disagree with that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Pre-time
Maybe
skip,
not
he
an
got so
all
much
straw
shine.
hats.
Whoa.
I feel like he's not nearly as fleshed out as compared to everyone else.
No,
Nah,
but
like Robin,
yo,
like, what happened to her?
Bro, like we've been following his journey though, man. Like especially like the last time he had a major moment, we went back to Dressrosa, and he thinks back to whenever he was training with Mihawk and whenever he fought Mihawk. And I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but like those moments are so special to me because if you are someone going out and pursuing a dream or pursuing an ambition, I feel like Zoro's such an inspirational character, and you can't really see the end of his development until he actually accomplishes his dream. So I feel like when we see him actually become the world's strongest swordsman, we'll look back at his journey and be like, man, Zoro was such a well-written character.
Alright, so Recon, I agree with you to an extent, but my problem with that is his goal is to become world's strongest swordsman, and where the fuck are these swordsmen at? Like he doesn't get enough.
I agree.
He doesn't get enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough swordsman fights, and that's what a lot of people are waiting on. Like, how can you
I got you.
How can you go on this journey of being the world's strongest swordsman when like the swordsmen you do encounter are fodder? You're like we got what's his name? Dosen in Fishman Island. He bodies him, and then you got like Pika. I guess he had
Can
a
you
sword
even
or
count
whatever.
Pika like?
No.
Pico was like-
Pico was a mountain, man.
But like
Pika
that's
was
not
just-
even
The
a
last-
swordsman fight.
And
The
Pika
last
was easy
real
work.
sword fight Zoro had was Ryuma. He was your shell of him former self. You know how
Yeah.
long ago that was?
Bro, that's
Like
ridiculous.
I
We're not
just
counting
wanna,
the Fishman
and I
'cause
think
that
that's
man was
and
boo-boo.
I think that kind of ties back into expectations people have of Wano. It's not like, okay, it's not like well, for me, I'll speak for me because I can't speak for everyone else. It's not like I'm expecting like this whole arc to be just Zoro based and like always about Zoro, always on Zoro.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like
Right.
I just was expecting we're in the land of samurai that we would get some sword fights, and there's just like
I got you.
I think it's coming though. Like
Yeah,
this
coming.
big
Me too.
war
But, like,
with like
my-
all these.
It should have already
it's about to
been
go
there.
down.
But it should have
yeah.
something should have already happened. I mean, he clashed
That
with
is true.
he clashed with. Well, I don't want to because some people aren't that far. But he clashed with the one guy that's
Oh yeah, I know what you're
you
talking
know.
about.
So
that
and
dude.
then so we have that, and then we have the killer stuff, which was like that doesn't even count. That's just whatever. And then but like I want like some at least like maybe it will happen because we have the one guy that's with the flying six. So like maybe that, and then maybe we have one of the calamities, like maybe. But like it's just like so far it's just like I wish we had like a little bit more, like because like I'm kind of feeling for Zoro a little bit, man. Like it's like I know some people kind of most people love Zoro, but some people are kind of rough on Zoro just because of like what I think Zypher was saying earlier about his characterization and stuff. And like, but like my thing is, it's not so much that. It's like for me, it's like just his goal. I just want to see his goal a little bit more. And I feel like
I agree.
I feel like that happens with other Straw Hats too. It's like it's with Chopper, Sanji. Like I feel like Sanji's kind of like
Bro, Ami? What happened?
Yeah.
to Ami?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. What's happening? I feel like with the One Piece characters or like the main cast is like they have their dreams and goals, and then I feel like he's just saving them for the end, and then they're all just gonna achieve it. Like there's no
there
build
gotta
up
be
to it.
more,
Like I know Usopp got a little bit of Dressrosa, but the problem I have with Usopp is that his goal is to become a brave warrior of the sea, but then his gag is to be a little bitch. Like it kind of like irks me. You know what I mean?
Albert, man.
One of the goals that is very flawed is Nami's, because logically speaking, them getting to Raftel, her goal is not done. They already made it a point that there's multiple routes to get through the Grand Line. So logically, they would have to go back and go through each one of those routes to for her to get the map. Not to mention, there's all the 4 Cs on top of that. So that shit doesn't make any sense. Plus, we have no progress whatsoever.
Maybe we'll get like a time skip at the end. She's like 65 years
Exactly.
old.
That's bad.
But I could totally see that as people then pointing at that and being like, it's rushed, which is like, for instance, like when I'll just bring up this series as well, even though we're not talking about it, I think it's a really good example of like what potentially was there, but obviously did not fulfill that potential, Demon Slayer. And I looked at it and I was like, I thought it was smart that they were only really focusing on 4 characters at the time, right? Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke,
Zenitsu.
and then Zenitsu, right? Those 4. And I was like, that's smart, because I noticed one of the red flags with Naruto, and one of the flags it gets is it had all of these side characters that seem to have these goals, all this potential, but when the main protagonist progresses so fast, the side characters get left in the dust. Hence why we're upset with what happened with Rock Lee. So I think One Piece, by hearing you guys talking about it more, and that's something I'm just thinking about now, hearing you guys speak about it, because I'm currently getting caught up to what's currently going on. But if it has like all of these members who have these goals, and it kind of gets left behind so Luffy can get the One Piece and be king of the pirates, I think that's going to be a huge knock against the series one day. I don't hope that's the case.
No, the issue is not necessarily because I think Oda is gonna achieve all their goals. It's not the issue. It's the more so of like how there's like a very big gap in between like getting to those goals, or like even addressing them again.
But that's what I mean. Like it might seem rushed, or like they just get accomplished at the end.
That's what I don't want. I don't want us to get the Raftel and then get like what King was saying. Maybe not to that extent of a fast forward, but like I don't want their goals to be kind of subsided a little bit. We get the Raftel, and then later, like before the series ends, we get like a little thing, and it's like, oh look, all of the guys have accomplished their goals. Like I don't want I'm fine with that if only in between there, like what Zypher was saying, there wasn't a huge gap, because it's like with Zoro, right? Like what, like he needs to fight swordsmen. Like if he doesn't fight swordsmen and then he just somehow fights Mihawk,
skips to Mihawk.
Yeah, like I'm just like, how did we get here?
He had to be one person this whole time.
I'm gonna say this right now about Zoro. If he does not fight King this arc, I feel like his journey is like butchered. Like I have no faith in it being correctly
still
done.
more fights though, like
no,
Shiryu in the future and shit.
No,
like,
Shiryu, that's a problem though. If he hasn't fought any legitimate like swordsmen all the way in the
we don't know the King's
and we're going toward the past. We're like past Wano, and he hasn't fought a swordsman. And then who's next? Shiryu. He fights Shiryu, then he jumps to Mihawk. That's still a problem within itself, because of where Mihawk is.
I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Like we don't know if King's a swordsman. There's no guarantee. I mean,
he has a fat ass sword by his side.
I mean, to be fair, Luffy has swords because it fit with the theme of the arc. We don't know if these necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, the King is a fair argument. Like you don't necessarily have to have him fight King, but I think it's better to put it like he needs some people to lead up to Shiryu and.
I just feel like after what happened in Whole Cake, like with Luffy barely beating a first commander, if Zoro all of a sudden would fight a first commander, that would feel, I mean, a little bit. If he won,
it's a big jump. Yeah,
that would be too much in my mind. And
do you think it'd be too much with Enma?
No. It is too much.
Luffy won through shenanigans.
This is already in the hole, though.
And this is a debate that I've been part of a billion times. Some people feel like Zoro can take on a first commander. Some people feel like he can't, and it doesn't make sense. Like my thing is like, for me, I'm big on like feats. Like I'm big on feats. I'm a feat guy. Like, and it's not that I think Zoro's weak. It's just he hasn't fought any competent combatants for me to gauge his abilities.
Right.
Like it's like everybody that he's fought, he's like toyed with, insulted, bodied everyone so far. So this is the thing. It's like it's hard for me to decipher because there's not much context. Are these people he's fighting just weak, or is Zoro that strong? And that's kind of like what I can't answer. And then it's like it's just difficult to know, and I feel like we won't know until we know. And I think that's pretty much what it is.
I feel like
for him to fight like bunch of fodder and Pika,
Yeah.
right, and to jump to King would be such a jump.
Mm.
It wouldn't be believable. And I'm Zoro
I think
fanboy. Let me just put
No. Like I'm a super Zoro fan, but I
saying.
agree with you. Like that's
But-
bad writing, but I
That
feel like
wouldn't make
it's
sense.
already at the point where like it need like he's just gonna do it. And then on top of that, when you look at Oda, like I don't think Oda cares. Like this is the same dude that has to look at the wiki to figure out stuff about his series.
Bro, there's a lot of
I don't
stuff to
think he
remember.
cares.
Nah, I mean,
No,
There's
a
20
lot-
years worth of content there.
but a lot of people
My
give
point is-
Oda shit for that, but it's like, bro, he's got literally thousands
yeah,
of
there's so many
characters.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, it would make more sense for him to fight like who's who, right, and then eventually contribute to the Kaido fight. That would make more sense.
That would make
than-
more sense. But
I'll
I'll say
I
this
think-
though, Zoro
yeah.
fanboy. I think we're at a point like I hate to say this because I really don't want it to happen this way, but like I kind of would say like I feel like King is like we know Zoro usually fights the second strongest guy. King's probably the second strongest guy. Well, besides I guess Big Mom is there, but I don't really even know how much of the fight she'll be a part of. Like I don't know what they're going to do with Big Mom, so I can't really speak on her. But just like as far as like the Beast Pirates go, so it's just like, man, I don't think it'll make sense, fanboy. I really don't, and I don't think that it should happen that way. But like it could, it's a possibility that it could happen, and it's just.
I think you could do a team up style though.
I'd be hyped.
Like,
I'd be
Oh,
hyped
for
with
sure.
that.
Like if there's a tag team, I agree.
yeah. Have them go with like Killer or somebody, and now you have like a Law and Luffy against Doflamingo kind of thing, where like Zoro could still have like the finishing blow type of deal, but now it's more
I don't like
realistic.
that, though. I don't like that because if he's going to be the world's greatest swordsman and he needs help to win, then it doesn't justify.
Yeah.
That's the thing I have a
But-
problem with Luffy about is that all these important fights post time skip, he's needed help in order to win, and he hasn't won on his own merits, and that annoys me.
I
don't
actually
want-
like.
I don't want nobody to help Zoro.
But
I
on
actually
the
like
Zoro
that
fight, what
more.
about if it's a 2v2? Like, it doesn't have to
That's
necessarily
different.
be
That's a
2v1.
different story. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
different story. If it's a 2v1, I don't like
Ooh,
that.
2v2,
I don't like
that
that.
king and queen action going on.
I,
Zoro and
I
Sanji
look
versus
at-
King and Queen?
Who's the second person that might get bodied?
I look at like what Oda's like trying to do with the series into it. If he's trying to end it in 5 years, which I don't think he's gonna do, but
Nah.
like he's making
Nah.
an attempt to do it, like he's already in the hole then, because you still have the final war like that's been foreshadowed, like after they figure out the truth. Like he's
bet.
already in the hole. Like he's
Bro.
gonna start pushing people to heights they like need to be at. Like
When it,
need to be in terms of power, but illogically. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Zoro fan. Like Zoro's fanboy said, like it doesn't make sense. Absolutely fucking not. It does not make sense at all that Luffy's been getting his ass whooped throughout the post time skip. He just came off an arc getting his ass dogged for almost like 10 hours to get a dub against a YC1, and Zoro's just been skipping.
He
Man,
needed
fuck,
Nami's
Pika,
help. He needed
and
Nami's
then-
help to be Cracker. bro.
Exactly. And then now Zoro's gonna beat King. But I feel like Oda's at the point where he's gonna have to just start boosting these people illogically.
No, I
And
get
I
you.
feel like that's gonna happen.
That
Like
makes
I'm
sense.
over 90% sure that he's gonna.
I
fight
actually
King
am
or
more
something.
of a fan of these team battles. Like I much prefer team battles. I'd rather have like
fire,
the main
bro.
characters get capped off and have to work together to defeat the big bad guy instead of doing individual fights. That's just how I.
I'm cool with that for like
Yeah.
for some people.
I
but,
like that too.
I don't want it to be like that every time. Like,
No,
I
but like
guess-
Zoro versus Mihawk obviously would be an individual fight. Like
yeah.
Like I like
Dang,
that. I like
team-
that for Chopper and Usopp.
Because like
when
my
they fought
thing
right
is,
now.
it's like at some point, like if for Luffy to become the Pirate King and
Thank
stuff like that, it's like at some point they have to be confident in their combat abilities to be able to fight these threats one on one. Like,
Thank
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, to me, like I go ahead.
Go ahead, Ted.
Oh, to me, like I feel like he's in a hole either way. He's gonna get stuck. And to me, I think it's smarter to make the jump now and then do stuff after the jump instead of make the jump at the end. Because if he
I get
fights like who's who now, and then like he's still like going like trying to climb his way, like in such a short amount of time if he's trying to end it in 5 years. Like to me, Mihawk is like a Yonko level threat. Like he's neck and neck with Shanks, like that. Like so, if he gets caught on the back end and he has to make this illogical jump at the end, it's gonna be another like Naruto situation. Maybe not that extreme, but you're having a whole bunch of stuff that's bullshit and not making sense at the end of the series, and then you're gonna have this image over your series over the ending. So to me, like if you were looking at it, like if he cares about the success of his series and how his series is remembered, if you're gonna do something like drastic and do a little, all right, I know this shouldn't be done, like you're gonna want to do it now and not at the end.
You know, they could have made this make a lot more sense if they would have brought Zoro to Whole Cake, had Zoro fight against Cracker, have that be his fight.
Yes, sir. You're making absolutely perfect.
Have him win, you know, extreme difficulty, but have him win, right? And then basically now he gets his Enma power up, and after his Enma power up, now it makes sense for him to be able to fight against the first commander.
Exactly.
And establish that he could fight against someone in second commander. But now, since he hasn't had a fight really that's been much of a threat to him post time skip, it would just come out of nowhere, and that's my problem.
Yep. I agree with you.
I have a small theory when it comes to how the defeat of Kaido will come down. I want to ask you guys what you guys think about it. So I need to set it up a little bit, but essentially the idea I had was, right, I was really looking through Thriller Bark and seeing so many connections with Thriller Bark and Wano, and I was really thinking about it. So you know how Moria has the ability to put shadows into people, and he did that with Luffy, and Luffy was able to use a sword, right?
Yeah.
And he was able to actually use a sword like properly, like he was a proper samurai, like using that shit. So my idea was, we know that Moria has a grudge against Kaido, right? And this whole battle is going down at like, what is it, the Night of Onigashima, whatever it's called. What if Fire Festival? What if Moria pulls up, you know, because he has this whole thing with Kaido, and the fight, I don't know when it would happen in the fight, but what if Moria put Zoro's shadow inside of Luffy, and it's almost like Luffy and Zoro defeat Kaido, like Luffy slays the dragon kind of situation,
like a fusion.
Yeah, almost like a fusion, but like the Moria style with it. I feel like
that would need to happen.
That'd be cool, right? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's already been set up, and Luffy has to.
I ain't gonna lie.
It doesn't sound bad, but it doesn't sound realistic.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think.
When has One Piece ever been realistic?
Like I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if that would happen, but like if it did though, I feel like that would be one of the like hypest moments, bro. It's, on paper that sounds crazy. Like I ain't gonna lie, but
because I feel like the whole situation with Moria and Kaido still has to be like brought up again, and I feel like him just becoming a samurai wasn't just a thing in Thriller Bark. I feel like he has to be brought back again with that situation, and if it does, it would be awesome to see like Zoro's shadow being put inside of Luffy. I just think it sounds like a cool ass idea.
That'd be pretty cool.
He could still show up. He might come through with Blackbeard or something.
Yeah, I would think it makes perfect sense for Moria to pull up. Like, cause I mean, like, when is Kaido and Moria's when is Moria gonna have a chance to like settle his debt if it's not now? You know what I mean? Like, or not settle his debt, but get his revenge.
Grudge.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's for sure. But since we're talking about One Piece anyway, we got into this One Piece discussion. Now, my next question, I wanted to know all of your guys' favorite Straw Hat characters.
Just only Straw Hats?
Well, I'm gonna get your non-Straw Hat too, but I want to get your favorite Straw Hats first. ZoroFanBoy, I heard you laugh. We already know why.
3 guesses.
Yeah, 3 guesses.
Yeah, of course. Zoro.
Should I start?
Yeah. What's up, KneeCaps? Who's your favorite?
My
Straw
favorite one is Usopp. I love Usopp.
He's good.
The funny guy, you know, and also the fact that is he like one of the only crew members that have actually like fought Luffy, or maybe did
Sanji did.
Oh yeah, Sanji did. He did. You're right. During what's it called?
But Luffy was fighting
when he was about to
when
get married, right?
Fought, though.
Yeah, bro. But that fight between Usopp. Oh wait, that fight between those two characters. You know, don't want to spoil anything. Was fun.
We're way past that point.
Bro,
Yeah, I think
I'm over here. I don't even got to read Wano after this. Like, I'm just telling me stuff.
Nah, for sure. So we got Usopp. I think Usopp's dope. I love Usopp.
Yeah.
D King, who's your favorite Straw Hat, bro?
I'm gonna go with Luffy.
Luffy. Okay.
That's my answer too.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
Yeah, Luffy. I just love the embodiment of the theme of freedom that he has, and like the ambition behind it, how everything connects around that theme, how he as a person continues to move forward because of that, and because that's my favorite theme in fiction. The fact that it's embodied through Luffy in the way that it has been so far in the series. That's why I think not only is my favorite character in One Piece, but one of my favorite characters ever. It's just the fact that he doesn't care about so many different things is a true showcase of freedom, and how he puts it into situations where he should care and yet he still doesn't care and continues to do stuff the way that he wants to. It's really inspiring, and I think that's why I love Luffy so much.
Yeah, and his like understanding of other characters and stuff, even how like goofy and silly he is, he just knows what to do at the right times.
Exactly.
Yeah, dope. I think what I like about Luffy, man, is like, and some people don't like this about him, but I think it's interesting. It makes his character interesting, and I like it. Is that he really doesn't care about people unless like they're his friends or people that he associates with. Like, and some people don't like that too much, but like I think it makes his character interesting. Like,
yeah, it's like the situation was like he cares about Shanks but doesn't give a shit about his father.
yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
It's the people who've involved themselves in his life, not the people who are just like bound by blood or connection.
He doesn't care about that. He cares about Nakama. Like, if you're someone he considers Nakama, or someone he considers someone that he like, you're in his life, he cares about you. Like, he cares about you. But if you're some stranger, it doesn't matter if you proclaim like, I'm this person. Luffy doesn't care, as we seen with the Celestial Dragon scene. Like, they were, and that's like one of my favorite scenes in the anime. And like, he just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care who you are, how like notorious you are, what your title is. And so, and that's like one of my favorite things about Luffy.
For me, like aside from Luffy, I have him at 0 because like it's the obvious answer. Like, I don't even count Luffy like that, but I would say Sanji, and I didn't appreciate Sanji fully to the extent until Whole Cake, because like it was like we didn't know the nuances of his character, why he smokes cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes like stops you from like well, actually we knew a little bit about that, but like the cigarettes, you smoke cigarettes because it kills hunger, and he does that because he almost starved to death when he was a kid. How Zeph ties into it, why he cares about cooking so much, what it means to him, and how he was able to get that revenge on his father, right? Because his father always used to tell him cooking will amount to nothing, right? And then here he was saving the day, baking this cake for Big Mom, buying enough time for them to escape, saving his family too at the same time. And they were able to escape and buy this enough time because he was cooking. And so like it was almost like a big middle finger to his father, like, hey, I did the thing that you told me I would never amount to anything with. And just seeing how his character's tied, like little things that he does is all tied to his character, and the way he treats women is all tied to Zeph, and how Zeph beat it into him. Like, that's why I really started appreciating Sanji's character. Before I was like, he's in the middle of the pack of the Straw Hats, but after Whole Cake, he's like became my favorite.
Respect it, man.
Dope. I kind of was a little bit opposite to you. I think I gained more appreciation for Sanji after Whole Cake, so I agree on that part. But Sanji was actually my favorite Straw Hat pre-time skip, and then it just changed because things have changed for Sanji post time skip. I think it's pretty obvious. Not to the extent some people think Sanji's terrible post time skip, and I don't really agree with that. But he's not my favorite anymore. Luffy, oddly enough, for me, Luffy wouldn't be my pick, even if I wouldn't put him in a special tier either. He's just not my pick. But my favorite Straw Hat now is Jinbe. Jinbe is my favorite Straw Hat.
Nice.
And that's just because like he was one of my favorite.
You said who?
Jinbe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Jinbe was one of my favorite characters, period, in the show. And then he just happened to be a Straw Hat, so.
I just realized there's a couple people in you that like did not know that yet. So it's like.
No, it's known. And in Whole Cake, it's in chapter 901.
Yeah, in Whole. Yeah, I was gonna say we knew he was gonna be a Straw Hat. Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
Yeah, my friend kind of already told me about it in high school, so I mean, I just didn't think it. I thought he was just making a joke, but to actually have it confirmed, you know.
Whoops.
Oops. I just thought everyone knew.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, you know, spoiler alert. But yeah, so I won't I guess what made Jinbe one of my favorite characters in general I can't talk about because that happened in Whole Cake. But it was there was a lot of stuff in Whole Cake actually, but the biggest thing was his interaction with Big Mom at the wedding. His speech that he gave, and then when he told Big Mom basically when he told her, I don't fear you, I don't fear a mere emperor when I'm on the crew with the future pirate king, that hit different for me.
That was tough.
And the stay or life thing, when he was when he says life, that shit is that for me. I was like, bro, that's just super dope. And ever since then, that kind of put the cherry on top for me. He's not my favorite character in the show. My favorite character in the show was just the meme, pretty much. But yeah, Jinbe's a great character. I love his character.
I think what my favorite moment to this day, I mean, he still continues to have great moments, but my favorite was the blood transfusion with Luffy.
Oh, with Luffy and Fish. Oh yeah.
The ties with the
big.
themes of racism and all that shit. Oh, it was so fantastic.
His scene with Nami too. His scene with Nami was really good as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
Dude, ever since we seen him in Impel Down, I was like, man, I'm gonna like this guy. I just had a feeling I'm gonna like this guy, and then now I love him. So, but yeah, Jinbe has a lot of good moments throughout. Post time skip though. But yeah, so did everyone give their favorite Straw Hat? Well, Tay, we already know.
The man that's gonna kill Kaido.
Nothing happened.
Oh man, that's
Yes,
not.
sir.
Masked Man, who's your favorite character? Your favorite Straw Hat character, bro?
That one's also Zoro.
Zoro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the funny thing is with Zoro, when I was a little kid, I've had multiple connections with Zoro from One Piece, but as a kid, my favorite movie was Zorro, the original one, Black, Spain, the Black Horse and everything, and soccer's my main thing, and I got the Z design of Zorro on the left side of my hair. So funny enough, my soccer nickname in high school was the Zorro, because in Spanish that translates to the fox. So for me, Zorro, I was like, oh snap, his name's Zorro, and then he pulls out the 3 swords. I'm like, yeah, I think he's my favorite. That's not changing. He's just so cool, and yeah, it's pretty simple for me. Yeah.
I do want to say one little thing, man, because actually, believe it or not, up to Thriller Bark, it was actually a toss-up between Sanji and Zoro for me, because Mr. Prince went in hard.
Ooh.
That's right.
I didn't know that. I did not know that about you.
So, a little lore,
Sanji fanboy?
backstory.
I'm excited right now. Hold on. Did we almost have Sanji fanboy reactions?
Almost, but I mean, my favorite moment in all of One Piece is the end of Thriller Bark with nothing happened.
Nice.
I mean, Sanji gets some credit too for that, because everyone forgets that Sanji was just as willing as Zoro was
That's right.
to sacrifice himself for the sake of the crew, and he deserves credit for that. But Zoro just knocking his ass out, being like, "Nah, it's me," and him not complaining, him not bitching about the situation, him just accepting that he needed to do this, and he couldn't back away from this. This was his responsibility. It really cemented him as my favorite character, and for me, it cemented him as the right hand, the man who's willing to do what needs to be done for the sake of his captain. So for me, that he's far and away now, but at that point, I was legitimately debating it. With a combination of the Ryuma fight, which I absolutely love, and him doing that, it just gave his character a lot more depth, because it showed that he genuinely cared. Because we don't get his inner thinking or his his thought process of things very often. He's very silent, obviously, right? So to see him actually come out and say that he's willing to sacrifice even his own ambition for Luffy, and that loyalty, that was a lot of respect right there. So I had to put him as my number one at that point.
Yeah, that moment's so powerful, man. I remember reading that, and the thing about me, of course, I wouldn't have experienced too much pre-time skip hype because like the show's been going on, the series has been going on for so long. But a lot of the post-time skip stuff that people got to like share with each other on social media and stuff, I missed all of that because I didn't start reading One Piece until December of last year. So like most of the hype stuff had already happened. But that's one thing that I wish I had got to experience, like a lot of these cool moments, like what it would have been like to experience them with everyone else. I remember, I wasn't reading at the time, but I remember when chapter 957 came out. Like I remember like how
that was hype.
crazy it was, like on Twitter, you know, Facebook, like everywhere. Like
I think the Reddit post went to like the
Yeah.
front page. Yeah.
Yep, that was crazy.
yeah, man. I didn't get to experience a lot of the stuff. But I'm hoping, you know, there's some really cool moments coming forward, so I get to experience those at least.
Yeah, the anime. I started with the anime first, so you know, that moment of the anime, that everything that hits perfect, man.
Oh, yeah, Zoro, just going off of that real quick. I remember I was laying in my bed watching that. Like, I put One Piece on a break for a couple months for whatever reason. I was watching other anime, and then like I got to that moment of like nothing happened. I literally jumped out on my bed. I'm like, I'm about to binge this whole shit right now. Like, I was never so. That was like the first time where I got so hyped. I jumped out of my bed. I'm like, yo, I'm hopping on the computer. I'm finishing this series, or catching up, I should say.
Yeah, I was sold. I think I was really like slow grinding it until I got to like Daz Bones vs Zoro in Alabasta. That's what hooked me. After that, like I just took off and I finished the rest of it within like a month. Like yeah, so I feel like the hooking moment's different for a lot of people. Like some people it's Alabasta, some people it's Arlong Park. Some people it's even I was about to say even some people it's even the Barati arc. So it's like I think it's different for everybody, but I think that's dope. That's a like thing about One Piece I really like, man. It's just like everyone experiences it a little bit differently, and like some people like think certain moments hit super hard, and then compared to other people, I love that. I love that about One Piece, man.
Yeah. To me, like even though nothing happened, is my favorite like moment in the entire series. Like as a fan, obviously, but the hooking moment for me in the series was actually the end of Sabaody when they all lost. That was like wild to me, like and like a twist, like you know, like throughout the series, like Luffy always found a way, but like just to see like there's like they didn't find a way this time. It felt to me like even though this happened way before, like you know, like the end of Infinity War when Thanos won. And there's like real like that's how it felt to me. I was like, yeah, what the fuck, bro? And then like that's what hooked me.
Yeah, that moment was that whole like arc was crazy, bro. Besides Kaido's introduction, like Kizaru's introduction is so fire, bro. Like it's my favorite next to the Kaido one. Like he comes in on the cannonball and he just bodies everybody.
To me, oh, man. Kizaru's introduction is better than Kaido's because Kizaru actually went through and just clapped everybody. Kaido had like
we cut away from that scene.
Like, we didn't see him clap everyone. That's the problem.
But like the magnitude of it, or are you just talking about the immediate like?
No, I'm talking about just the immediate introduction because like
the immediate introduction
like,
thing,
bro, because Kaido's just like one of those guys. It's like, bro, it's just like a mythical moment. Like when I first seen him, I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? And then then they explain who he is and like how many times he's been defeated and if it's a one-on-one fight bet on Kaido and all this stuff. And like I'm just like, oh my god, like who the fuck? This dude is crazy. And then like he just jumps off an island all willy-nilly, like, oh, I'm trying to kill myself. And then he survives it and crawls out of the hole. And then you just see this big, huge presence as he's hovering over these like pirates. I'm just like, oh my god, man. Like,
yo, and that character design too, man. I caught me off guard. I was like, oh snap,
fire!
It's fire.
Every time I see Kaido, bro, I'm hyped. I like anytime like I've seen him in the while reading, I was hyped. Like
100%.
Like yeah, it's dope. So now we talked about Straw Hats. Who's your guys' favorite character? Period in the show. And now if your favorite character is also a Straw Hat, just pick like your next favorite character, of course.
For me, it's Law. Law just embodies just like amazing character writing, like a great backstory, just cool as hell. Like the way he like carries himself, like his powers. First he's a swordsman. Second, his ability, the Opi no Mi. He's literally a doctor. He's a swordsman, and he can fight. Like he just has everything, and like the way he just handles. And I think he has one of the best backstories. Period too. Oh, I guess that's completely subjective, but
I agree.
I love Law, man. I love Law. I feel like for everyone watching, and every time Law gets brought up, like there's always discussion in the chat, and I always try to premiere these so I can watch with the viewers and stuff. Anytime Law gets brought up, man, there's so much Law hate, and I just don't get it, man. I love Law, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I have like a bone to pick with Law a little bit.
Oh boy.
I mean, and Luffy a little bit, cause my favorite is Doflamingo.
Ah.
So for me, it's like,
I see.
bro, Doflamingo
Respect.
is just, I love everything about Doflamingo. My favorite look on Doflamingo personally is his old one when he dressed up in like a mob suit and all of that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like my favorite. For
was
me, that's
tight.
like, bro, but man, Doflamingo's the GOAT, bro. I don't care what anyone says. That's my number one.
Bro,
One
Yeah,
Piece
that's my
villain,
favorite
number one
antagonist in
character.
the show. Yeah.
He's so tough
really
and everything.
Bro, the voice
Yeah.
actor is so good.
Oh, he
dude.
is
Oh
so
yeah,
good,
I don't think
dog.
I can do it well, but his voice fit Doflamingo Don Quixote, and then the laugh and stuff.
Bro, I like Dofi even when he like in any situation I like him, bro. Even when he was about to get clapped by Aokiji. Like he even looked cool in that moment. Like he was like backing away from him, like bro, like he just always looks cool, bro. One of the
He had great build-up, bro.
drippiest characters, period. Like, and like I
Great
like
dialogue.
I like his old style too, bro. But I really be feeling the pink fur too. He's on his like
No, yeah, it's tough.
he's on his camera and
It's tough.
stuff. I'm like
He's the kind of dude that can wear anything. It doesn't matter.
on this killer
just-
cam, I'm kind of feeling it, bro.
He has everything I desire in an antagonist.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a relatable, a good backstory, awesome powers. He comes off as intimidating, and he seems to have control over the arc that he's in. He feels like the main antagonist within an arc, and for me, every great antagonist has that quote. You feel me? Like that one quote, and the one he gave about the victors deciding history.
Yeah.
Great. That
He
person becomes
dropped
justice.
some banging quotes
Great.
for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But
Definitely.
yeah, Dofi is mine.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta go with. We actually just talked about him just now, but Aokiji, man. I-
Oh,
Nice.
I love Aokiji, bro.
yes, sir.
Mainly because I mean the mystery behind him and what exactly he's up to right now plays a part into it. But even before then, like his relationship, the complex relationship with Robin, and his kind of the way he interacts with other Marines and stuff, and how he carries himself. He's not a good guy. Like, let's be real. I mean, he gave like the Buster cult to Spandam, whatever, right? So he kind of deserves a lot of hate for that in some respect. But he's just very complex. He's not like black or white. Not exactly sure what his ambitions or his goals are, but he very clearly has something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, he mad. He cold. No pun intended. That nigga cold. Bro, bro, I feel you on that though. Aokiji, he's definitely in my top 10, bro. Like I fuck with Aokiji heavy, bro.
And the thing is, like, even his introduction, right? Talking about introductions.
That ice bite was clean, bro.
Man comes in sleeping with like a mask over his face. He's sleeping, and then he freezes the sea over casually, bro.
He's trying to hit on Nami too.
And then he just casually wipes out the straw hat.
Only reason
Yeah.
the only thing keeping me from hating the Davy Beck arc, bro.
Ah.
Yeah, Aokiji, bro.
Yes.
For real, bro. And yeah, man, I just feel like he's gonna be an incredibly important figure down the line, and he's incredibly complex. And with One Piece characters, it's not always the case that there's a lot going on under the surface that we don't know about. So I really dig Aokiji because he's one of the few Marines that I really like. Kind of just how he's portrayed and how kind of gray he is in terms of his morality. So yeah, he's dope.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's a great pick, man.
All right, so who we got? D King. Who's your favorite non-straw hat, bro?
I don't know if this one counts in a way, but I'm gonna go with Vivi. I
Oh,
guess
nice.
She was Straw Hat before, but Vivi had one specific moment that stuck with me. It was on like Drum Island when they first got there. Nami was like sick, and then Blackbeard had just attacked the island, so everybody was like very wary of like all the pirates and stuff. So they had their guns pointed at like Luffy and the squad, and Luffy was ready to duke it out. But then Vivi had the moment of like bowing down and says, "Please help us," and she even straight up told Luffy like, "Yo, you're a bad captain because like you're not recognizing this moment, and, like Nami's in danger and you just try to fight it out. It's not gonna work." So like that was a really top moment. I feel like gets overlooked a lot. And then just like her story and how she traveled the crew and how she developed, and then leading up to Alabasta and like how that whole arc played out, it's just very memorable for me.
That was tough. Yeah. I was gonna say my favorite female character is Boa, but those are for different reasons.
Good pick.
Kneecaps,
Bro,
what
I
you
be. Oh, my fault. Go
Oh,
ahead.
you good? Kneecaps, what you got, bro? Who's your favorite non-straw hat?
I don't know. It's gonna sound weird, but my favorite non-straw hat was is Kuma actually.
Oh, Kuma. That's not weird.
yeah,
Kuma,
man.
goat.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. What are you talking about?
They just walks up to
Dope.
people and like teleports them to like a different spot. That's pretty dope, you know.
Yo, his powers are crazy. There's certain like devil fruits, and I'm like, why did they give these people these devil fruits?
Yeah.
Kuma's one of them, bro. Law's
said
another
you
one. Like Law's fruit, literally OP, like that. This OP, like.
You know
So,
who I thought? You know who I think's like devil fruit could have been like really dope, but like I don't know. I guess like they were just supposed to be like not really taken seriously and just like made for like someone else's backstory.
Who's that?
I think his name's like Corazon or something like that, right?
Oh,
Oh, Corazon.
He had like the
that's-
ability to like negate like sound. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
could be like the best assassin with this fruit,
Yo,
but I
you
mean,
could body
yeah,
Apu with that.
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So such an underrated like fruit, but
Yeah. No, for sure. Who else? Who else didn't answer? Recon, you answer, bro?
No, not yet.
Who's your favorite non-straw
My,
hat, bro?
I think right after Luffy, my favorite character in One Piece is Blackbeard. I feel like he's
Yeah.
that's right, bro. Mr. Yeah. Like I just feel like anytime he's on screen, he always has my attention. And I feel like that's the number one thing I look for in a villain, because it always makes everything more interesting. And anytime he talks, anytime they talk about him, for me, it just elevates the stakes like tenfold, and immediately brings my attention to the screen. And the fact that now we're dealing with this whole concept of dreams, especially now, and like what it truly does mean to dream, and people's dreams never end. My favorite quote in the entire series, and just I feel like one day, whenever we actually get to Blackbeard's backstory, I'm gonna look back at the rest of the series and be like, man, there was so many little bits of foreshadowing that were crazy.
Oh yeah.
Bro, he never
Look at
sleeps.
that.
What the hell's up with that, dude?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Like just
Souls, it's
Bro, like,
dealing with that concept of dreams and whatnot. He's just such a fascinating character, and I can't wait to learn more about him later on down the line.
Yeah, for
bro,
sure.
he's an actual pirate in a pirate manga. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing I like
Yeah.
about him most. Like, he represents what a pirate should be, generally speaking. You know what I mean?
And he's willing to do anything
Yeah.
to like attain
I was
his
just about to
objectives.
say that.
It's
I
always
love
it's always
how
cool.
much a Blackbeard, like how meticulous he is. Like he knows, like in his head, like he knows what he needs to do to get to his goal, and like he's kind of like, it's kind of like sometimes I think of Blackbeard just being on like a scavenger hunt, pretty much. Like he kind of knows what he needs to do, and he's just kind of like slowly collecting the parts. That's kind of how I look at it. And like,
Yep.
it's just like he has a plan. I feel like he just already kind of has a plan for everything, and it's just like he's just kind of been slowly accomplishing it. And I like that a lot. Some people are like, will fault him for that, but like some aspects of it, because like of sometimes people like look at him as being cowardly, but I think he's just being smart. Like,
Yeah, man.
like that's how I look at it. I think he's just being meticulous. I think he's being smart. Like, so yeah.
Plus his
that's-
Blackbeard, who said like what? Why would he have any honor in a
Yeah,
fight?
why would exactly? There's no like, and that's ongoing theme. Like everyone, like there's no
Honor
like,
pirates.
honor in between pirates, especially like in fights.
Yeah.
Like that's just
Exactly.
a thing in the show. So.
The only really evil thing he did was kill Fetch, because he was his fellow crewmate. Everything else, honestly, you can justify it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
as like a pirate, yeah.
That's facts.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, if you're gonna give Blackbeard that kind of criticism, you got to give the same for Luffy. Luffy's done some messed up stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
how many
That's
come
for
up-
sure.
Facts. Spitting.
keep that same energy, you know?
People don't.
That's
People,
right,
people
bro.
don't be doing that when you talk about the favorite characters. They start bringing
Yeah,
up. They
that's
start bringing
facts.
up exceptions. Like, but wait, it's different with him. Like, how is it different?
That's
Luffy,
true, bro.
Luffy like hospitalized thousands of people in his lobby. Robin, that.
Oh yeah, that 10K got
But it's
knocked
Luffy
out.
though,
killed
so it's
people.
cool.
But it's Luffy though. He's the main character.
Right, yeah. It's like, but it's Luffy. I hate when people do that, bro, because I'm like, I be like I always troll Luffy, because like I trolled Naruto for the whole thing with like Hinata, how she's gonna tell you I love you, but then nobody remembers that after like the whole thing happens. So then I just see Luffy's like dynamic with Boa, and I want to just jump off like my roof, because I'm just like, bro, please. Like, I know you got goals, bro, but come on now.
Come on now,
Yeah.
man. Nah, I feel that 100%. My favorite character. I pick meme characters a lot. Like, not necessarily memes, but like just goofy ass characters. So like Yu Yu Hakusho, like my favorite character is Kuwabara, or like
He's
so
solid.
so like I like fun goofy characters. But in One Piece it was funny because initially Lucky Roo was my favorite character, literally off of the one moment he had in the beginning. And like people always used to be like, how is he your favorite character? He doesn't do anything. And I'm like, look, man, it's my favorite character. I like he shot a guy, he killed a guy, like like while eating a chicken leg.
He caught a body, man.
Caught a body while eating a chicken leg. I thought it was awesome. That's my favorite character. I don't care. So then like then we get to Zoe, and I see Nekomamushi for the first time, and I'm like, I have this like insane bias for cats. Like I love cats. I think they're cool. I love them. So when I seen them, I was like, man, this is my favorite character now. And like ever since then, like it's just been that's my guy. Like every time I see him, I'm happy. He's always smiling. He's always happy, and it makes me happy. And then like you guys know in like the latest chapter, I won't spoil it, but you know y'all saw his arm and all that, you know.
Yeah.
You know
Man's
what I'm saying?
decked out.
You know what I'm saying? So I was hyped. I'm a hype just to see him in general, but then I seen that, I was like, whoa. Like on his Mega Man stuff right now, like on his Diet Guts, like
He's buried, bro.
yeah, but yeah, that's my favorite character, man. Nothing crazy. Then my third favorite character is Jinbe for more actual like sound reasons, but the other two were just for like aesthetics and just the meme, I guess. But so we talked a lot about One Piece, and we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, so I want to talk about our favorite arcs in One Piece and what made them our favorite arcs. So like, what's your guys' favorite arcs? Not necessarily what you think is the best arc, but what is your favorite arc? Like, what arc did you watch and you just kind of changed your outlook on the show, or something that you could go back and watch a bunch of times?
Sabaody.
I like the one with the where he fought what's that guy's name? Lucci or something like that? That like half
Yeah.
tiger dude.
And he's
That was
lobby.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
sloppy.
Yeah, Water 7 Indies Lobby back to back is probably one of my. I like ran through that in the anime in about 2 days because it was just non-stop. Even like
Yeah.
Water 7 design right off the bat, so sick. And then you get to Usopp and Luffy, and then you get the Rob Lucci and CP0. Then you go into Indies Lobby. It was just non-stop.
Yeah, Water 7 was probably Water 7 or Dressrosa, but Dressrosa's mainly because of Doflamingo. So as like an overall arc, I have such a soft spot for Alabasta as well, because I genuinely felt like the rush of what was going on. I felt like that was one of the first steps One Piece really took to solidify its world building, right? Because up to that point, One Piece definitely had its world building, but with Alabasta, it just like threw the gates off like the wall. And that's when like all these different concepts were introduced and stuff like that. But I think Water 7 is probably gonna be my pick.
On my end, I have two. The first one is Return to Sabaody. Whenever they came back the second time, that one has a special place in my heart. That's really when I found the community. That was the arc that anytime that I feel like reading One Piece, I always go back and just read through it just because it's funny. It has hype moments. I'll never forget how it felt having that rush of like how the Straw Hat's gonna look post time skip, and seeing like their designs for the first time. And you know, you never forget memories like that. And it has some of my favorite stuff with like Rayleigh and Roger, and just overall really good arc in both the manga and the anime. And then the second one is Giant Skypiea. The themes of like freedom, chasing your dreams, challenging your beliefs, challenging everything that you were brought up in, you know, with it being progressive and whatnot. It's a phenomenal saga, and Enel's also one of my favorite antagonists. And there's all this stuff going on there. No Kagura flashback. It's a phenomenal arc. So it'd be those two for sure.
Yeah, I gotta go with Enies Lobby. It was tough. Saboti's right there. Like Saboti's incredible. But Enies Lobby just has non-stop thrills from beginning to end, man. If we're counting Water 7 too, which I do, like they're really one arc, honestly. But Saboti has great moments. But dude, the reveal about, you know, CP9, who they were, was incredible for me. The Usopp and Luffy duel, which was amazing. Even the clash that Frankie and Luffy had was really good. And the whole drama with the Mary was going on. Robin ends up leaving, bro. It was the only time in One Piece where I was genuinely like concerned for the well-being of the crew, because everything was falling apart. And we never had that kind of crew dynamic since, unfortunately, to the same extent, except obviously with Sanji, right? So that was just a completely new concept being introduced to the story, and they handled it perfectly. And then you have all this stuff with CP9 happening, this assassin organization that, you know, and then Tom with Tom's workers and the backstory with that and everything, with building Roger's ship and all the world building that brought into fruition, bro. It was incredible from beginning to end. Even like the train ride of the puffing Tom, or it was the Rocket Man rather, with freaking Zoro and Luffy teaming up to punch a freaking tsunami, with Zoro versus not Das Bones versus what was his name? Oh my god, T-Bone. There we go, T-Bone. Cutting the train in half. Dude, there was just so many great moments in that arc that you seem to forget about, but they really are just embedded in your mind, dude. That arc is just unbelievable for me, so I got to go with that for sure.
Incredible arc.
And then the Merry funeral. Oh my god, dude. Cried.
I think that might be the thing I've cried for the most in the series.
I was not
It's
expecting
not even
there.
The emotions, like, it was way too much, man. And just to like add on one thing ZoroFanBoy didn't add in was like the I want to live, like that shit. Yeah.
Let's say, of course.
Shoot down the flag, man.
But of course, I mean, there's so many good things, and not even to mention the aftermath of the arc with the new bounties, and then the reveal about Dragon and the Yonko, bro.
Yeah. It was just like
Shanks and Whitebeard clash, bro. Like
it's dude, it's so good, so damn good.
So it is Water 7 in his lobby, but since ZoroFanBoy's basically touched literally everything, he literally touched everything. But the second one I'd probably say is like, I know it's like multiple arcs, but I'm just gonna like call it out, is like the Summit War Saga, man. From going from Sabaody to Marineford, that ride, that is like the fastest binge I've ever done in my life, man. Like, after you see the Straw Hats like completely torn apart, you're like, especially when you're like, it's different when you're like in the community, because you know eventually these Straw Hats have a time skip and they come together. I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. So when the Straw Hats like got separated, I was like, what the like, where does it go from here?
Me too.
And so then we got Amazon Lily, and then I'm like, okay, where does it go from here? Impel down, and it just kept going. I'm like, Marineford. I was like, holy shit, what am I witnessing right now? And it just kept building up and building up and building up, and like it came to this ultimate climax to like Marineford, where you have Whitebeard saying the One Piece is real, like from all the way from the Straw Hats being ripped apart to like the One Piece is real, like that ride. So it's like I'm kind of cheating because it's multiple arcs, but I just wanted to give a shout out to that from those 100 chapters. I think it's like just about 100 chapters.
No, that saga's phenomenal, man. It's so S tier. It's out of this world. I don't know how Oda drew all that, man. That was crazy. Bro, having all that back to back.
I truly feel like after Wano we might enter like a saga like that again.
Yeah,
I feel like the potential is there, man. Like we go from Elbaf to Raft, like something like that. Like we're gonna have some crazy shit gonna go down after Wano.
100%, man. Yeah, from post Wano until the end of the series is gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy.
For sure. So, all right, D King, what's your favorite arc, man?
Oh, I mentioned Water 7 and Enies Lobby.
Got you. See, for me, it's me and Recon have the same picks. Jaya going in the Skypiea for me as well. For most of the reasons Recon said, man, but it was just like, this is kind of like the first time for me where it just felt like adventure. Like the whole thing of like going into a sky island is just wild to me as reading it. Like I'm just thinking to myself as I'm reading, like, how are they going to pull this off? Like, how are they even going to get up there? Like, and I just remember wondering all of those things, and it's just like they go into like basically, I mean, of course it's, you know, part of their world. It's just in a sky island, but it just felt like in a whole entire different world itself. Like, everything was different up there. You have the introduction of the dials. I thought the dials were super cool.
Yeah.
And then like Nolan's flashback, of course, like that's my favorite, probably my favorite flashback in the series. And then like for Jaya itself, man, we got the stuff with Blackbeard, and the Blackbeard speech was like powerful. Like that's powerful stuff.
That's my favorite moment in the
Like,
series.
we get like the one-shot Bellamy moment, like poor Bellamy, man. It's like I like Bellamy, and I didn't really care much about him too much in Jaya, but like when he comes back later on, I kind of started appreciating his character a little bit more. But in Jaya, you didn't get much of him except for him and his people thrashing Luffy and Zoro, and then not fighting back because they already knew like they didn't really need to, like they were nothing. And then we see like Luffy just one-shot this guy, and we're just like, well, I kind of understand why he didn't fight back now. He literally didn't need to. But yeah, man, Jaya going on the Skypiea was great for me. I love it. I also really liked Enel. Some people don't like Enel. I did. I love God Complex characters.
Yeah, same.
Love Eminem.
So like just seeing him, like his introduction, he cartwheels in, like he bodies his people, and then he just starts eating fruit. He's just a funny character. And then like my very first YouTube video was on Enel because I was just super interested in him, and I didn't realize until I went back to reread to like make the video, like just how many times he bodied someone. He bodied a lot of people throughout that. Throughout that,
he caught a lot of bodies out, bro.
He caught all the bodies, bro. So like,
Speaking of NL, man,
go ahead.
I want him back so bad. Like,
yeah,
me too.
I do
dude,
too.
I want this man.
Yo.
Like, I just want to see like where he stands, because like we've seen it before. Like when you had like why am I forgetting his name? Crocodile. When he came back to Marineford, right? It was like one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so like he could still keep characters relevant, and just because he got beat by Luffy doesn't mean he's completely irrelevant now and or useless. So like how Enel's gonna like, I would love to see Enel get tied into One Piece again.
Bro, Zypher, back in Dressrosa, there was this theory, whenever Fujitora was first introduced to have that ability.
Oh, when he brings the meteor down?
Bro, everybody was like, yo, he's gonna bring down the moon with NL riding on top of it, dog. I remember that joke, it was yesterday. It was so hype.
I never heard that theory, but that's insane.
Yeah,
But,
I never heard that either.
But yeah, man, yeah, I love to know. Just God Complex characters in general I like, so I kind of already figured I'd like them. But then that's also someone like, up until that point, like when I saw Enel, like I was just like in my head, and of course we got the whole like elemental resistance with the rubber and stuff that happened, but up until that point I was just thinking in my head like, how are they gonna stop this guy? Like, because he just seemed like an entirely different level of threat up until that point. Like, I just didn't see it. Like when we see this guy clap someone for saying his name when he's not even in their area, like that, like stuff like that, man. And then like when other times when they say his name, he just appears, like just stuff like that. I was just like, man, this dude's he's just different, man. And I really like that. I like that as well. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the Skypiea stuff. I think me and Recon covered most of it. Did everyone get to give their favorite arc? I'm pretty sure everyone did, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. So, it's coming up on that 2-hour mark. I just want to say that I had an amazing conversation with you guys. I appreciate all of you guys coming through today. Did anyone have any closing thoughts before I close things out?
No.
I'm good.
I guess on like my end.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Appreciate the invite, man. I had a lot of fun talking to everyone here.
Same, bro.
For sure.
Do it again.
No problem. Yeah, you guys are always welcome back. Always. Awesome. So, for the viewers, all of these wonderful gentlemen that are here with me today, their information for their YouTube channels will be down in the description. Please make sure you go check all of their channels out, especially my buddy Tay. Not to discredit anyone else here, but Tay's a new guy. He's really small. I try to do this thing, as you all know, when I have other established content creators come on, I try to bring on 1 or 2 very small guys as well, so I can shed light on their channels and keep the community going. Also, D King is pretty new as well as me, but go check out Tay's channel. I'd really appreciate that. But check out everyone's channel though. Other than that, I appreciate everyone coming through. As always, this is Synsei Inc., and I will see you guys in the next video.